Welcome back to the Hurley Pro Trestles. This is a big event when you start thinking about the world title race and requalification. And that is the story for this heat. Gabriel Medina in third position on the Jeep leaderboard, going up against Adam Melling, who's trying to lock in a position in the top 22, and Alex Ribeiro, who's only had one heat win all season. Round, we're yet to see any action in Heat 4, Ross.
Yeah, it's been taking its time. We may even see a restart. I don't think these guys are that far out of position, really. So the head judge can deem that there hasn't been any waves and give them a fresh 30 minutes here. And when is it going to happen? About 30 seconds.
Well, nothing of substance rolling the way of our competitors in the opening stages of Heat 4, and as a result we have a restart. So a fresh clock here, 30 minutes, and they get the opportunity to lock in a couple of big numbers. Have you got a prediction for how this heat's going to go, Ross? Holy
moly, I'd almost be surprised. I don't want to drink the Gabriel Medina Kool-Aid, but obviously he's the favorite in this heat, and it'd be kind of a surprise if he doesn't combo this heat. I feel like he's going to be so dominant. Either he goes left and goes for a big air, or strings together 4 big old hacks on his backhand.
As Gabriel's stepfather was watching on, Medina, he swings. And he is so aggressive at the takeoff spot there. Drives around that section, drifts the tail straight into a reverse. Maintains control. The wave starts to flatten out, but Medina's going to stick with it. Looking for more. Banging through the lip a couple of times here on the inside. Not an easy wave to put together. A couple of flat sections here for Gabby, but he kicks out with a very explosive opening maneuver and some decent hits on the inside. He should get an above average score there. 21 minutes remaining. And Adam Melling now takes the inside position. Let's see what he can put together. A great opportunity for him to really push ahead on the opening exchange. Stylish fin throw into a beautiful roundhouse cutback. Here comes that section of the wave that typically flattens out. Gets a bit of a run through the inside now. Let's go over a nice little drawn out carve there, and still just floating his way down the line. Just kicks it on the end section. 20.5 minutes to go.
And cut to the right and just basically chopped right underneath his legs. So this is like, okay, he's on top of Alex Ribeiro. Alex is looking at the left. Gabriel says, not on my watch. So he's going to get to his feet right at the same time, maybe just before Alex, and you can see right there how decisive Gabriel is. So he just took control of the situation. You saw a little more defensiveness from Alex and pure aggression from Gabriel Medina. So that was pretty crazy. The very, very gutsy move.
Really gutsy when you consider that Medina doesn't necessarily need to freak out in this heat. He just needs to get a couple of decent waves and do what he does. That was a pretty scary situation probably for his camp.
And you're right, that wave did get a little flat. I was surprised to see him kick out right there because there was a little closeout section there, and usually Gabriel Medina milks every wave to the bitter end. So it's just going to be an average score, I feel like, for Gabriel, even though he did start with a nice spin. Always strong and carvy. You never know. Adam Melling, he could put together a couple of big scores, but it's not going to happen on this wave. It really went flat. You can see that wave, no juice left. So it should be just a couple of average scores here.
Didn't mind that little kick of the fins on the outside section from Adam Melling. It was super stylish, as per usual, but definitely wasn't one of the most explosive versions of that turn that we've ever seen. So the scores, we're waiting for them to roll through as Medina on the inside looks to keep busy without priority, but just a little too deep on that occasion. He's going to kick out. Well, just news coming into us, a non-priority interference. So Gabriel Medina getting punished, red on white. So that is a mistake, and that's perhaps the opportunity that Ribeiro and Melling needed in order to get the jump on Medina. It was a pretty interesting situation. We're going to review the rule book here and bring up that scenario again for you, but that's going to hurt Medina. No priority, so he'll lose half his second scoring wave. So he's going to have to really go bonkers on his best ride in order to still get the win.
Okay, so that's key information, Ronnie, from you. So he's not going to lose an entire wave. He's just going to lose half of his second scoring wave. Here's the thing, and this is the, I didn't really see it coming. I thought he would have got his way, but the reason why I feel like the judges are going to call it interference, you just stop it right here for me. You can see right here, as you look at it, we're looking mostly at a left-hander. So I think the judges are clarifying that Alex Ribeiro has the right of way. Gabriel Medina is the one that's kind of crossing past and trying to make this look like a right. So right here you can see this wave still looking like they're more on the side of the left. And this is where we were so impressed with Gabriel, how confident he was, and ended up getting the best of him, how he was overly confident, but he kind of made his way past Alex Ribeiro, and then he had to go around the shoulder to that right. So being that they were more on the left side of the peak, favoring Alex Ribeiro's kind of zone, that's why the judges were forced to call it on Gabriel.
Very interesting scenario there. Sorry, as we see more waves approaching.
Headsets out.
And this is Alex Ribeiro. He used priority on this ride, and it's a shocker. It's going to get away from him. Just under 14 and a half minutes to go. And we're going to go to break. We'll be back in just a moment. More action from the first round here at the Hurley Pro coming up in just a minute as we see Gabriel Medina taking this ride. We'll show this one to you before we go to break as he drives around the sections. And he really needs to throw down something explosive here. Beautiful turn there. Really dealing with the whitewater on the open face here very well, and just bashes the end of that ride. Just under 14 minutes to go. We'll see a replay and update you on the scores in just a moment. Welcome back. You're watching the Hurley Pro Trestles. A very interesting situation for Gabriel Medina at the start of this heat. He really tussled with Alex Ribeiro at the takeoff zone, and as a result received an interference. Priority was neutral at the time. So as a result, Medina loses half his second score, and that is going to hurt his chances of making the jump directly from round one into the third round. And it's a huge opportunity for Adam Melling and Alex Ribeiro to get an upset win over the 2014 world champ here. But they still have to do some work because Medina, he's just put away a 7.33.
Okay, so Adam Melling, this is a huge opportunity for him. Basically, if he gets a 6 and a 7, it's going to be very, very tough for Gabriel Medina to, get the win in this heat. Very nice snap there to finish this wave, but it was a very short wave. You can see, just the two maneuvers. That's not going to get it done out here, so he wants to find a wave that kind of peels down the point a little longer, gives him more opportunity. Same thing for Alex, not hooking into the best waves out there. A little lost in this lineup so far. But again, Adam Melling, such a strong surfer, but he's a bit lost out there. He's kind of fumbling around a little bit right now.
Back to live action, Alex Ribeiro up at the moment. And on his way to a pretty decent number, has picked off a medium-sized wave. It really hugged that cobblestone reef beautifully, and he let go of a pretty good sequence of turns.
Even though your competitor has an interference, then it becomes pressure-filled because you're like, well, I better not lose his heat, and you start surfing defensively. And this is just a small wave for Alex. A couple of little snaps here, but because the wave is small, and he was a bit repetitive, that score is going to be very modest. In fact, just a 4.3.
That was classic here in BL's thoughts. I'm with him. I love the fire. It's great as a spectator to sit and watch someone not back down to the challenge. Medina's hurting as a result at the moment, but he'll be laughing if Alex Ribeiro and Adam Melling don't step things up a little bit. I think they're both looking pretty vulnerable at the moment. Alex working over a smaller wave here at the moment, but he needs a number to get ahead of Melling and Medina at this stage, a 5.4.
I'm here to win, and that's it. And he is that way. He kind of comes to these events basically focused on the event, and then kind of just bones out. He's out of here. So he's not one of those social guys that hangs around and he's here to have a good time. He really is focused on winning solely. As we see Alex Ribeiro, again, just a small wave. I think it's going to hinder the score really because that wave didn't have enough power in it. I'm surprised Alex hasn't gone on a little left-hander as well because he's great in the air himself.
Well, here we go. This is Adam Melling trying to shut Medina out. He needs to get rid of a 4.73 here. It's just a small ride, surfing reasonably well at the moment. Nice roundhouse there. Didn't get the rebound like he would have loved, but he still did complete the turn nicely. So flowing as he brings it through to the inside. You can see Medina on the outside bashing away. Has a steeper wall to work with. And this is going to be very exciting. Just over a minute remaining. And you could see the finish on Medina's ride was pretty exciting, very explosive.
Wow. And one more ride out the back here from Alex Ribeiro as we saw Gabriel finish up a big wave.
Alex has just been picking off waves that haven't had that bigger wall to really attack. He's been doing some nice small wave surfing, but it's keeping him out of the mix at the moment.
Oh my gosh, everyone's got to be on the edge of their seat. You know, the judges have their work cut out for them. Just an okay wave for Adam Melling. It doesn't seem like, you know, it's going to be an excellent score, but it should be better than his 4.73, so that's going to up the ante for Gabriel Medina. And to be honest, Gabriel Medina, big committed moves, but not as clean as we've ever seen from Gabriel. You know, he just kind of pulled the nose out from each of those moves. So
don't forget, his second best wave is going to be cut in half due to the interference. So waiting to see what the judges lock in for our competitors. Let's have a look at the replay, starting with Adam Melling.
So a three-wave set. Here's the first wave. Adam Melling. Again, I'm feeling like just pretty decent. I don't think it's going to be excellent. Nice wrap there from Adam. Very strong surfer, but just kind of wiggling around in this wave. He didn't have much definition, and that's what's going to keep the judges, you know, they're going to throw him probably an average score. You can see behind him, Gabriel kind of going to town there on a much bigger wave. And so we'll tee that wave up next. Let's kind of pick it apart. Gabriel, I don't feel like he's going to need a massive score, but right here he pearls and he gets out of it. So not 100%. Better there. And the second one again, the third one, watch, he's going to pearl again, but he refuses to fall. That's what's so crazy about this guy. He's like has the most amazing reflexes. So on his first turn and his third turn, he should have fell, and he just refused to, and kind of pulled his nose barely just out enough. So will the judges give him credit for it, or will they cruel him for it?
Well, he needs to get himself a 719, I believe, to get himself up into the lead. We're waiting on the numbers to come through here, and the number has dropped. It is an 8.0. And Medina, despite the fact that he had an interference during that heat, lost half his second score, which was a 7.33. He's going to get enough to progress through to the third round. Melling had a 5.93 on his last wave, a 4.8 for Alex Ribeiro, and a freaky performance from Medina as he marches on to round three. More round one action coming up after the break. Joe Tappel and Pete Mel will call the action.